Hello and welcome to Week 6 Challenger action. We have got Sugar Babies and we've got City Boys tonight. I'm Anthony Malum. I have KingFsher alongside me giving us the best analysis on the block, and let's get into picks and bans.
Oh yeah, that analysis might not do too much right now as it's just a Rama ban, which I think we've been seeing a lot of teams follow this trend. They're trying to ban out RemarkableWolf, I think for a really good reason. As much as anybody on the team of City Boys can pop off, the games they've won, RemarkableWolf has been doing really, really good, so taking out a hard carry ADC like Rama is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, we've on the same wavelength. We've seen NykoMaster get target banned a lot this season with ADCs as well. We've seen the Ho Yi become a top priority ban for Nico quite often, but it's kind of hard with ADCs to target ban something like a Ho Yi that's not a top tier hunter right now, considering characters like Cupid, Rom, or even something like a Kernanos are out there.
Yeah, and I think Ishtar is also a pretty surprise ADC that's really started coming into the limelight lately. We've been seeing it picked banned pretty much every set, so I'd be interested to see. I'd love that for Remarkable Wolf. I think mechanically a very, very clean hunter. I know he's got a couple weird picks that he likes to run, but seeing him something on prototypical like that could be pretty helpful, but something way out of the ordinary, it's going to be the Ao Kwang walk in for virtually.
I almost have to imagine that was in response to the Kepri after they banned Achilles, so they just wanted to make sure that there weren't any more bans on. Not that Aquan would have been a priority ban, but just making sure that they get their execute locked down for dealing with that Kepri ultimate.
Yeah, definitely smart. I mean, I don't know if we've seen Virtually play Thanatos yet. I'm not sure if it's in the God pool. Thanatos is a pretty hit or miss god, I think, for a lot of people, but does offer a better execute. But on the other hand, Alquang we have seen a few times before in this league. I think twice in Premier we've seen it, but I could be wrong. And one other thing I wanted to talk about coming into this one was we've seen a lot of transactions taking place around the league in preparation for rosters getting locked, and even before that, but neither of these teams has made a big move in a while. The last one was Trollacademy for Sugar Babies.
Yeah, and that goes in a lot into these teams, and that goes so long for their communication, their chemistry, their overall synchronicity. We do see the Ho Yi get picked up for NykoMaster, so as I mentioned, we've seen that target banned a few times, but this time it gets through. But I think the most peculiar thing that I'd like to talk about is I can't remember the last time we've seen an Odin.
Yeah, really haven't. And I mean, I do like the pick into the Athena because we know how good OLK is. Assuming that's an Athena support on some of these picks, I think the Ganesh he looked nearly unstoppable on. So picking something like that to lock the support down is going to be really helpful, as well as lifesteal. Huge part of Alkwang's kit in being able to box. So the 100% anti-heal is so useful. And I think to your point, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen it more, but finally gonna see it, and you did call it. It is gonna be a Ho Yi for Nico.
Yeah, we of all the notes that we have on our players, I think the NykoMaster and the Ho Yi might be the most underlined one we have from our lovely LCs. The Kernanos ban does come out in response, so that will not be the response for Remarkable Wolf. And that God pool is starting to take a bit of a hit. We've seen a Heimdallr a time or two from Remarkable Wolf, but I can't help but wonder what we will see against this Hoyi.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a big fan of the Heimdall. I mean, I do love Heimdall as a god. I think Remarkable Wolf was pretty solid on it. But given the rest of their team, it's a little bit variable, I think. I mean, Ah Kwang either does great or horrible. Athena can be a really hit or miss support sometimes. I think just getting some consistency out of the duo lane should definitely be their go-to, as we do see the final ban Ishtar, so not going to be available for Remarkable.
A curious ban from the Persephone as well. We haven't. I can't remember the last time we saw that banned or even picked for that matter.
Yeah, not only that, I can't remember the last time we've seen Souls play a normal mid laner. I mean, I
True.
think the set really comes to mind as a pick he did very good on. So I think I won't call it a wasted ban, but I mean, you're taking one out of probably all 117, 118 gods in that pool. I feel like that number is way off.
I wouldn't have corrected you even if I knew it was off the top of my head. But yeah, that's an interesting one for sure. Normally it's very easy to kind of see where the next few picks might go, or at least have a feel from it. This time, I really have no idea what we expect to see. The big notables are the need of an ADC and the need of a mid on respective sides. So I'm kind of at a loss.
Yeah, a little bit, but can't really get into the heads of the players. And there is a pick I do really like. I mean, that will definitely bring the consistency I was talking about. And Guan Yu has been a top pick, top ban god. We've seen him kind of sliding down for no apparent reason, but finally going to be played in one of these sets. And I did just get confirmation it is 123 gods in Smite. So I was wrong about that number.
Hey, you gave it your best shot. You fired away. That's all you can do. And is that a hell getting locked in? It is a hell getting
There's
locked
the
in.
Soulzc mid lane. I don't know why we expected anything less. And I mean, just from a healing aspect, I mean, Odinal, Ganeshal, they are going to be in trouble on the side of City Boys. Luckily, though, I mean, Yu Huang gets out of that pretty well. Athena can ult out. Oler jumps out. So I think
Yeah.
locking down this front line is going to be the game plan there from Sugar Babies.
I do like the hell picked at the end. I feel like that's probably the safest way to get away with picking that right now. I don't know how I feel about it overall, but... And there is the switch to Heimdallr at the end here. So with that, let's not waste any more time. We're ready. We'll see you in game number 1. We have Sugar Babies. We have City Boys. And we have a Ganesh jungle. So
Yeah,
with that, let's do it.
I know. I really don't know how we missed that on the desk. I was just thinking like, oh, you know, Odinal, Ganeshal, Kepriel, they're looking pretty good for these team fights. Didn't once stop to think which one would be in the jungle. I guess it kind of makes sense. I think Odin jungle, definitely the best out of all three, but that means you're putting Ganesh in solo lane, and that is never a winning combination. So it's going to be interesting. I'd say definitely keep your eyes on MentalDepressed in this set to kind of find some value. To be fair, he's going into Na Kuang, so it's going to be two really interesting picks.
I really don't know. I mean, you said it best. I don't know how that's snuck past us with the Ganesh jungle. I think I was just so not... That was nowhere, anywhere in my brain, so I couldn't even comprehend the possibility of it being a thing.
Yeah, definitely not really something you think about.
There's the blink! There's the dash! The Trunks are doing work! Can't find the kill, though, but boy, do I love to see it. That is going to be fun to watch this game.
Yeah, I do like seeing the aggression. Unfortunately, Guardian's not really known for their damage at level 2, so cannot quite find the kill there. Honestly, I thought there was going to be a lot more damage, but good, oh gosh, what's the word? Discipline there from Slim the Rebel not to use those beads. I think no matter who the jungler is, you kind of tend to freak out when they blink on you right by your tower. So good on him for not using those.
do have a gank coming out in the middle lane. Virtually's on to Soulzc, doing good damage too. The heal might not be enough, but oh, just one basic away. Now Virtually's out for MentalDepressed, but can he find the kill? He is a Ganesh, so no, he cannot find the kill. Just not enough damage there, just like Fish was saying.
Yeah, definitely not. I will say, I think the one good thing going for this Ganesh jungle, its setup is going to be so much stronger than Virtually on this Kwang. So if they play it right, I mean, Hou Yi does a ton of damage, one of the best ADCs at just bursting down single targets. I think Hell does an insanely undervalued amount of damage. So if they play it right, it can still be a really, really good pick. It's just going to be hard to get to that point.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's kind of hard to find a lane in my brain where it can work, with the main exception being, obviously, and this goes for any character realistically, if they can get kills and get ahead. But even that could be difficult, because you find a kill in a gank, you're not even gonna get full credit for it. So it's hard to find the lane that's gonna work. While there is always a possibility, it's a difficult one to narrow down. I mean, even build wise, you're gonna be slightly limited.
Yeah, and they are building into lifesteal first. I mean, we've seen a lot of first item Pythagorean pieces, which, again, I still don't completely understand, but it's definitely picking up popularity. Do you think it's any chances as a Pythags, or would you expect to see something like a Bancroft's Claw instead?
I would normally feel very confident that it would be something traditional, but considering the pick is a Ganesh jungle, it could be, I don't know, it could be Soul Gem or Talent. It could be any. It could be a Fang first, for all I know at this rate, and nothing would surprise me, no matter how untactical it is, I guess. I could say.
Yeah, and Soul Gem is an item that saw a pretty good recent buff. I think it's definitely becoming a lot more mainstream now, coming back from where it was about a season ago. And I do like the fact that Ganesh is still building into damage in the jungle, but I think something like Pythags pieces, Trollacadimy falling low virtually can't get him into execute though. But I think maybe going Pythags, it works out more for the team comp, because I think this jungler is going to try to support the team rather than going for kills, but Dashy wants to kill.
There's the stun. They're going to look for the execute on her tower, but the jump came out, tanking a lot as Dashy. Tower gets the kill on the Dashy, but Virtually gets the kill on Trollacadimy, so a 1 for 1.5.
Yeah,
Bye, Hou Yi. See you later. He's down low, has the jump up on the return, though. Gonna be safe. That is always a fun ability to try to make a call on. Neeko safe for now. Dracull is in the way. They're taking a good bit of damage, but nothing quite there for the kill, and they're safe for now.
Yeah, RemarkableWolf used the beads there on the stun, trying to chase down the kill. I don't know if he really needed to do that. Now he's going to be left without him, as here comes Ganesh.
Let's see what the Ganesh jungle can do. Wolf falling low, drags back through the pillars, but a nice taunt from OLK. Will be enough to save Wolf, though. Dracull gets the kill. Neeko is trying to take out the imaginary friend of OLK, but the good news is, with OLK getting out of there, the imaginary friend is alive and well. And we do have a pause coming out, so a potential DC here, and we'll be right back on the Smite Draft League. The good news is not only did Nico make it out of there safely despite the slight pause, but the imaginary friend is safe and sound and out for the rest of the game. We'll keep you updated on his injury as we progress. So we're back from break, and after a strange fight in duo, wouldn't you say?
It really was. I didn't even notice that the Hou Yi DC'd at first, and I was thinking, wow, it's really taken them a long time to kill this Heimdall. But unfortunately, just two Guardians battering away. MentalDepressed is going into damage, so eventually going to be able to absolute obliterate RemarkableWolf on those ganks. But for now, it was a close call. I mean, I guess Nico at least disproving any future aimbot allegations. Missed a lot of autos in that one.
Yeah, that's a very good point. There is no need to check his his hardware at any point in the near future. I'm trying to think of things for the Ganesh here, to try to think of the possible lanes of possibility. And really the biggest thing that I'm coming up with in my own head is the ultimate late game is going to be doing some work.
Yeah, and I think one thing I always talk about is objective pressure. I think about it a lot when going into team comps because it just lets you play so much more comfortably when the game's kind of at a stalemate, even when you're at a disadvantage. A full damage Dharmic Pillars can turn absolutely any team fight or objective fight on its head. So I think in that regard, Sugar Baby should be really comfortable late game, taking those more kind of questionable fights.
For sure, Dracull caught virtually out, but with the dash up, plenty safe. Very, with the weirdness of these fights and the picks, we haven't had a lot of time to talk about the passiveness, but this game is definitely showing to be one of the more passive ones, as we're starting to see in Challenger. There is a gank in duo lane. RemarkableWolf down half, though, from the Reigning Suns. That might be enough to put some distance between Nico and the gank, and it is. So a nice ultimate there from the Hou Yi is more than enough to create some space and create some safety.
Yeah, definitely. Good job there by Nico. Unfortunately, had to use the beads and ult, but I guess they live, so it's a good trade. And on the flip side now, RemarkableWolf, without that ult as Heimdall, especially going into Hou Yi, I think there's really not as much kill pressure. I mean, that thing just gets so much damage, lets you set up so well that without it, you kind of don't want to engage. So now Virtually's over here for a purple buff invade in the first 4v4 of the game. Only Solo's missing.
Okay, took some good damage, but he basically was the only one who took that damage. Everybody else going to go their separate ways, unless Virtually gets picked out. But knowing the escape of the Ao Kuang, I'd imagine he is plenty safe. Might be a fight over Oracles, because MentalDepressed is over there. But just with the Bancroft online, still not doing a ton of damage. Better in the sustain department, if anything. But just a weird pacing of this game. Probably has a lot to do with the picks, to be fair, though.
It definitely can be, and I think the other thing that could kind of slow down here for Sugar Babies is the Hell. I think it's a weird pick. I'm not saying it's a bad pick, not saying it's a great pick, just kind of weird. You trade off a lot of late game damage for sustain, which is great, but at the same time, missing that traditional, really easy to land damage could be really hard for Sugar Babies to try and find a lot of opportunities to engage.
Yeah, we've all been there when we play as Hell, trying to get up close to use Repulse. It's just so difficult to get off, especially in a dangerous moment. Dash did have to use ultimate, but gets away from Trollacademy. But trying to get in to do that Repulse damage and getting out of your light stance, the combination is normally enough to get you, if not dead, you're at least half health by the end, and your heal isn't going to do that much. Wolf aggresses onto NykoMaster, gets the ultimate off, sending him through the realms. He's going to land into OLK, but jumps the taunt. Still a dash up, though. We'll see how far they chase it, but with Dracull, Soulzc, and MentalDepressed here, I don't think they'll be chasing very far. Nice play by NykoMaster.
Yeah, really good, nice play, especially this time. Doesn't have the beads and doesn't have to use the ult, so definitely feeling really good there. Here comes a solo laner, Trollacademy, wants to find Slim. Slim has to beat.
Beads comes out, which avoids the root, and now Soulzc, just as we talked about, steps too far with Repulse. Takes a lot of damage, but the double pillar wall combo goes down, and Virtually and OLK are stuck inside. A shell came out, but they did not leave regardless. A lot of damage on Virtually, a lot of damage on Slim. Dash is here, though, full health. They aggress on to Trollacademy. 3-man stun in response, taking a lot of damage, though. Taunt, he might have to give up, gets knocked up. No execute is good there. And this fight shifts from that one slight misplay, and City Boys has to back off.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the things we were concerned about when we started this game on the desk, and even early in the game. I mean, they got really solid engage onto Virtually there, didn't have beads, had no lifesteal inside that Odin ult, and only dropped a little bit under half HP. Soul's forced out of the fight really early, and MentalDepressed just not at the stage yet where the jungler deals damage. I think same thing with Trollacademy, not building any damage so far. Sugar Baby's draft, I know we keep harping on it a lot, but I think the longer this game goes, it's really going to have me worried to see if they can keep up with the more traditional, still a little bit weird comp of City Boys.
Yeah, I think my biggest concern will come from the damage because they really relied on getting ahead. But we're already at 10 minutes. We're hitting level 10s, and if you're not ahead at this point, even if you start to pull ahead, it's going to become a significantly smaller and smaller margin of getting ahead, and they really do need that advantage to do a lot. So if they stay even, if they fall behind in particular, it could spell trouble. Wolf goes for the invade, gonna get it, but Dracull is here, but does have that escape on Heimdall, will be plenty safe, and gets away with the blue buff. Purple. I know colors.
It's okay. They are very similar colors. I could definitely see that misunderstanding. But RemarkableWolf does get away, and now they are looking at the Gold Fury. I think this is a great call. I don't know if Hells realize they're on it. No wards on this side from the Sugar Babies. They're not going to be able to get there quick enough. MentalDepressed is the closest, and he's still miles away.
Yeah, they will get it for free. Might look for a gank off of it on Nico, but given how those ganks have gone, probably going to go towards mid lane and play the safe route.
Yeah, definitely smart. And I think this is one thing we haven't talked about so far. The differences the Hou-Yi is going to bring from the Heimdall, not only in 1v1 and teamfight presence, Hou-Yi is going to be able to build into crit, which is a really popular path we've been seeing lately. On the flip side, Heimdall definitely do not want to do that with the passive, is now virtually trying to burst down Nico.
We'll see how much damage he can do. Suns come out. Execute range. Gotta watch out for the ricochets in that range, but the ricochets no good. Wolf gets the final hit onto NykoMaster. Execute was not used. It's always dangerous to chase a Hou-Yi into the jungle, but that time it worked out for City Boys.
Yeah, and good call there from City Boys finding the gank after most of the team had stepped away. I know you commented they were maybe looking for it after the Gold Fury, but Wesley turned away, and now RemarkableWolf has to fall under his tower until Depressed blinking.
Wow.
There's
Make it a Ganesh kill. The damage from the pillars was unbelievable. Followed up by the dash, which did more than I can believe. Trollacademy gets a kill onto Slim under the tower, but the execute comes back in response from Virtually and gets rid of the Allfather Odin. Lands down onto Soulzc. Gonna use the Inspire to get away. Repulse ready. Beads come out. Not too much damage, though. That's a problem with help. KingFsher ultimate comes out, and Execute's already been used. MentalDepressed gets picked up by Virtually, making it a double kill. Attention turns to Dracull, who is full health and tanky on KingFsher. Pluck comes out as well, but NykoMaster is here. Hits a nice ricochet onto Dash, and that's enough for City Boys to retreat, but not before they pick up 2 big kills in the jungle.
Yeah, that was a very odd fight all around. I'm not even sure what really happened there to kind of trigger Trollacademy to go under the tier 2 to try to secure a kill. Maybe just found Slim outside of where he was supposed to be, but regardless, the mid laner falls and then the solo for Sugar Babies. So kind of a weird trade, but one that works out for City Boys. A 2-for-1. Now they might have a small opening onto the Pyromancer if that's going to be their next target, but the solo kill is going to be the target for Nico.
A lot of damage comes out. Ultimate comes out through the realms, but it is beads. But OLK is here with his imaginary friend through the ultimate, and they're going to pick up the kill together, stealing it away from Wolf, but getting rid of Nico nonetheless.
And we love when supports steal kills. Oh, and I don't like this call if I'm a Sugar Baby. With Virtually coming in, I think it'd be smarter to drop this. Not a ton of steal potential, but he's going to do a lot of damage to him. Good Odin Cage.
Good Odin Cage. There's the pillar. Pyromancer's in the pillars. Important to take note of. City Boys gets the steal, though, and they take Dracull with it. MentalDepressed follows after the execute. This is not looking great for Sugar Babies right now.
No, not really. A questionable kill. I mean, I get why they stuck on it. It's not like the... Oh gosh, blanking on the name. The Alkwang was really going to steal it. I think bought time for, I believe it was Slim that stole it with the dragon. I could be wrong. Yeah, not a ton of damage onto that Fury when your ADC is on the other side of the map. Or, no, I think Nico is dead, actually. So, questionable call, but regardless, the result is the same. City Boys pull further ahead.
And I did like the wall-pillar combo. The second time we've seen them use that, and that was a good use of it. And with the Pyromancer almost died to the Dark Pillars, but it just wasn't quite enough. But I think you called it from the beginning. I think the best play would have been to probably not even pull it at all, knowing that Virtually was right there, given the amount of damage he's been doing so far. He is 4-0 now, of course, on the Alkwang, so it's probably wasn't even worth it. I mean, we've talked about and debated the worth of Pyromancer all season, and it showed up there in a rough way. Escape has to be used from RemarkableWolf, trying to avoid MentalDepressed and the damage that Ganesh is outputting with the Spear of Deso. Nico chases, but can't quite find anything good there.
Yeah, definitely smart from Sugar Babies not to chase that one down. I think, like you said, yeah, over Pyro, I mean, if it was only virtually, I think the call is definitely to keep it and try for the kill. But stalling long enough for the team to show up, not the right play, is now Sugar Babies. Dracull's looking aggressive, and I think they might be trying a little bit too hard. They've got down to a 5k gold deficit, but doing unwise plays won't do anything to help it, but Soulzc with that CC immunity is going to be huge later in this game. The Guan Yu, Athena, Heimdall are all really going to lose some crucial elements of their kit if he can reliably hit those cleanses.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big game changer really late, because like we talked about, having to get up close with their pulse, if you can't hit the cleanse beforehand to really set you up to put in that work or save your cleanse wisely enough to use it to get rid of certain CC immunities and avoid them, then really the character kind of becomes borderline worthless regardless of who's playing it. It's just more of a character limitation.
Yeah, and you know, I think I just now noticed this. I think this is the first time we've seen a team all season with no CC immunity in their kits from Sugar Babies, so they're really going to be relying on Soulzc as RemarkableWolf as a target on left.
Taunt comes out, though. Will that be enough to save it? Wolf has the escape, but he escapes right into Nico, who is waiting with the kill. Make it 1 for the Ho Yi. What else will follow? OLK taking good damage, but with the Ganesh jungle, there isn't as much damage as they would like. Silence comes out, but a 4-man taunt from OLK finds the kill onto MentalDepressed. Virtually cleans up Soulzc. And now Sugar Babies really just has to turn tail and run, but virtually lands down on top. Suns come out. Pluck does as well. Virtually gets away for now, but taking a lot of damage. Slim is here. Ultimate comes out from OLK to get virtually away. Almost hit a 3-man taunt to follow up the 4-man taunt, but City Boys takes that fight and handily at that.
Yeah, I don't know what virtually was thinking, diving into a 1v3, but luckily does get away with his life. Now it looks like the target is Ho Yi. Oh, wisely, Nico gonna jump over the wall.
Yeah, it was risky, but with that Ho Yi jump, I guess was worth the risk, kind of, to hang out.
Calculated risk.
Yeah, it's a calculated risk. The charts on the topic of calculations. Can you whip out your calculator and walk us through the significant numbers we're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it started really small. I think it's mainly pretty much in these last 5 minutes where it started going downhill. And I think we covered it on the desk, and you said it earlier in this game, the Sugar Babies draft, I think it was around when they were level 10. They either need to get an early lead and run with it, or they're going to be in trouble. And they're in trouble. We've seen in these team fights, they're doing a pretty good job at staying alive. I think, despite what the scoreboard up top says, 9 versus 4 kills definitely not indicative of how it's been going. The thing is, they're not doing enough damage to really put any pressure at all onto City Boys. They're kind of just doing whatever they want right now.
And that was the danger of this comp, like you said, and it's gotten to a point where it is frightening, because even if you wanted to look at the individual matchups, the one that really sticks out the most for me is the jungle matchup. MentalDepressed on that Ganesh just is not putting out enough damage to keep up with the now 5-0, level 17 Ao Kuang that virtually is behind.
Yeah, and I think all these picks, except for the Khepri, really scream to me like big risk, big rewards. If this team comp plays the right way, they can be absolutely unstoppable, but not given an opportunity yet, as Fire Giant is going to be the call. MentalDepressed is close to try and steal with Dharmic Pillars, but he's getting pushed away. Fire Giant's going to happen before anybody can get there to steal.
It's already down to a quarter health, shockingly so, and it's going to get cleaned up. City Boys gets the Fire Giant at 18 minutes. Probably going to get Trollacadimy with it, barring some incredible plays. Nice jump, though. MentalDepressed is very caught out, though, and level 13 just doesn't have the health to survive it, especially given the build. Soulzc's next up. Cursed Ankh comes out. Nico pulled by OLK. Soulzc's under tower, getting chased by Virtually. Khepri ultimate is good. No execute is there for the kill. Now Virtually stuck under tower, taking a lot of damage. Slim goes for the dive, can't find it. Has to use Aegis to play it safe. Behind the back is RemarkableWolf. He has OLK with him. They finally pick up Soulzc. They clean up NykoMaster. Now it's a 2v5, and City Boys has Fire Giant, and they have everything they could possibly want at the moment going their way.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, as bad as that fight looked from Sugar Babies, I think they did a really good job at escaping at first. definitely shouldn't have gotten even close to the Fire Giant pick, as Trollacademy absolutely bursted down. Dracull's going to follow. It's now not a deicide because MentalDepressed is back up, but basically a deicide.
I would have loved to hear a fish deicide call, so I'm kind of mad at MentalDepressed right now, and I'm taking it personal.
Oh, that will never happen. I'll always hand it off before that happens. And the mid Phoenix is gone as well. I think now Smartly going to fall back. They're on a roll right now. Don't think it's to the point where they can kill a Titan when 2 members are up. But yeah, I think the one good thing Sugar Babies did well that fight, they staggered their deaths beautifully to make sure there would be people alive to defend. I mean, Dracull stayed alive a ton of time. Trollacademy, Soulzc as well stayed alive a really long time under the tier 2 tower. It looks pretty dire for Sugar Babies, but they're doing what they need to right. I think this lead is just going to balloon to a point where it's not going to matter how well they play it. City Boys just have too much going in their favor right now.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain we're going to see the towers cleaned up with Fire Giant. One more deicide may lead to victory. There's always a chance. I would also suspect that if this game passes a 35-minute mark, we may be telling a completely different story, but I'm not quite sure if Sugar Babies will be able to get there given their team composition. We talked about the high risk, high reward, and this game has been currently all
risk.
Yeah, paying the dividends of the risk that they took.
Yeah, I mean, fairly to your point, though, if they do hit that late game mark, the tides might turn. I mean, this team can absolutely perform late game, not only the gods, but the players themselves. I mean, they were tied for first with Harbingers until just a week or 2 ago, so definitely have the skill to still pull this one back. It's just if they can get to a point where the gold lead and the level leads kind of don't matter. I think the gold lead in particular, it is at least an item or an item and a half at some places for City Boys. 13,000 gold, kind of a lot, especially only 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding the path back into this game. It's always a tough spot to be in. We never want to harp too harshly on players, but there are just times where certain compositions simply don't go as planned, and the best analysis and the best advice we can give is really not just looking at what to improve on a player-by-player basis, but looking at the composition. And I think going into what seems like will be a game 2 with favor going City Boys, there's a lot Sugar Babies can change.
Yeah, to be fair, I think any team comp would be struggling right now in this position, but now here comes the engage from City Boys. They want to end this one fast.
Virtually is the one who's ended fast, and NykoMaster made it happen. Gets a shutdown kill on the Virtually. MentalDepressed, though, taking a lot of damage from Dashiwae. NykoMaster now stunned out, and Ultimate's on Trollacademy, so Nico's got to play it safe. OLK's on top of him. Dash is chasing down Trollacademy, who could not find a kill. Turns his attention to NykoMaster. Couldn't find it there either. Goes back to join his team and puts out a Cursed Donk. MentalDepressed takes a lot of damage after it. Cannot be healed up from Soulzc. Has to go back to base. OLK down to 25%, but there's just no damage there to clean him up. Dracull is down low as well, so they're going to have a hard time defending what remains of this Phoenix. Dash goes in, gets plucked, but there's just no damage there. Repulse comes out and barely even scratches Dash. Nico, the one who does the damage, jumps in and gets the kill and makes it clean. MentalDepressed blinks to chase down RemarkableWolf, who turns around and almost lit him up for even considering it. Sugar Babies has successfully defended for now and is chasing out the 3 remaining members, but their Titan is currently under attack as mid lane is down as well, so they cannot chase this out any further or their Titan will take massive damage for no reason.
Yeah, and I think we see one of the few really bright spots in Sugar Babies draft kind of shine through there. That was a really good defense. I mean, a lot of them are down 4 or 5 levels, considering the fact that the Phoenix took that long to kill. Nobody died on the defense. We're able to scatter City Boys really well. Definitely one of the few high points we've seen so far is now City Boys are going to grab the Oni Fury. No chance at steal for Sugar Babies, so even after that good defense, they're still on the back foot, and I think Fire Giant is going to be the next target for City Boys.
I agree, and I don't know how safely this can be contested, if at all, given that dual lane Phoenix is down, mid lane Phoenix isn't healthy, Titan is 25%. I mean, at max, you can maybe let Trollacademy take a peek at it, but that's pretty much all you can do.
I was gonna. The only thing I would even attempt is trying to have MentalDepressed put a Dharmic Pillars on it. I would not show up. I would just play clean Phoenix and hope that Ganesh can pull something off. Doesn't look like that's going to be the plan. They're all sticking around this Fire Giant. I like the idea. At the same time, I feel going for a fight here would be really foolish from Sugar Babies.
Yeah, it's got to be nothing more than a poke out. And City Boys might even look to get some kills off of this and see what they can make happen. Taunt goes on to MentalDepressed. He's falling low quick. Suns come out. may not matter. Pillars come out. Ultimate is out from Khepri, but he's the one who's executed at the end. Virtually will go down on top of MentalDepressed to clean up the kill there. Dash gets the final hit on it. Odin Cage is out to try to create some time, but time is the one thing Sugar Babies has none of. NykoMaster caught out and gets sent through the realms. He will probably die when he lands. Dash makes it a double kill. It's now a 2-on-5 defense, and I cannot see. We talked about the lanes. There is no lane for defense here for Sugar Babies, barring some kind of amazing play. Soulzc will fall next. Virtually makes it 8-1. Titan down to 10%. Titan will fall. The minions get the last hit on it, and a commanding game number 1 for the City Boys.
I think the minions did 100% of the damage to that Titan. And I think, to Sugar Baby's credit, I don't think they really wanted to fight the Fire Giant. I think the mistake was kind of just showing up there. I know we were talking, maybe just poke it out. Can't really afford to do anything. Other than that, they did try something else, and unfortunately just got ran at. And that is a clean game from City Boys. They got an early lead, and they did exactly what they should have with it. They kept the pressure up. They had really good timing as well on the objectives, I think. So all in all, really clean game from the Chaos team.
I wish the same could be said for the Order side team, but it cannot. Like I said, we never want to harp too much on player-by-player performance, and that really wasn't the cause here. I think the cause was plain and simple. It was the team composition they went with. There was a chance it could have worked out, but that chance did not show up whatsoever, aside from the imaginary friend was probably the most interesting team comp addition we had this time. But I don't think all was lost. Sugar Babies can certainly turn it around in game number 2, and we will meet you in picks and bans in game number 2 to figure that out. Welcome back. We're on game number 2 of the Sugar Babies versus the City Boys, and the Sugar Babies are looking to turn things around by maybe going for a different type of team comp, while the City Boys are looking to run it back and make more of the same happen. I'm Anthony Malum. I have KingFsher with me, and let's talk picks, let's talk bans.
Yeah, and I think as much as we pointed out kind of the setbacks in Sugar Baby's game last time, they did some things really well. I think Soulzc, the stats lie, I think played a really good game as hell. Unfortunately, kind of never had that opening to really get the damage off, even get some of the heals off under constant pressure, but managed to extend his life, try to help his team any way I can. I think that was a good performance as well. Dracull on the Khepri I really liked. I think the ults were not nearly as impactful as you want them to be from a Khepri, but the positioning, the
Certainly.
gameplay, I think was all pretty solid from the support.
Yeah, I agree. There was, and we talked
Oh,
about
good
that.
enough to make them take it.
Yeah, they want to get that out of there. I think we talked about it. It was the player by player skill and was there, and we've seen that all year from the Sugar Babies. Reminder, they were undefeated until they ran into the Harbingers. So it's definitely there, and I think it was just a matter of maybe just trying too hard to outthink your opponent.
Yeah, definitely was. And now Ymir lock-in, I do think this is going to be a Dracull. Ymir has hit some insanely good walls, if I'm remembering correctly. Definitely a scary support to go up against. And running the Hou Yi back, I mean, I think Nico did solid on the Hou Yi, but Sugar Babies are definitely going to have a lot stronger engage this time. They need to make space for those 9 Suns to really be impactful in a true team fight.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, it's definitely a strength, but playing around it is what makes it the strength. It isn't just the sole player. If one player could win games of Smite, then we would see drastically different strategies from all teams, but that's simply not the case. I do like the Tyr though. Tyr has been a character that when he shows up, he makes big differences in any league, not just SDL, but in particular in SDL, Tyr has had, even if he doesn't win the game for his team, he has strong individual performances, and that could be enough to tie things together, especially come late game.
Definitely could. And I am expecting this is going to be a tier solo. And I think that Trollacademy did decent on the Guan Yu, had a couple few kills we saw early on. The ultimate was very impactful, but oh no, sorry, that was Dashi on the Guan Yu. My bad.
It's alright. It's easy to mix up. Guan Yu and Odin are a very classic solo lane matchup, so it's kind of easy to get their names flip flopped around. I do like the Thor coming out. I'm not really sure where it's going though, because it's so strong in jungle, but it's just been so commonly picked up in solo. It's almost impossible to guarantee where it could go.
Yeah, and I would kind of guess it to be a Thor solo just because I think virtually tends to like a lot of those sneakier picks more. We just saw the Ah Kwang, we've seen the Loki out of it before. I think Dashi was the lone member that was kind of diving everything. We saw virtually just kind of slinking around getting the kills where he could. So I think the playstyle would definitely resonate with their solo laner. That being said, Thor brings an insane amount of utility and damage, could definitely see it out of virtually, and I think that's what Sugar Babies are thinking as well as they take the Guan Yu off the board.
Yeah, I like the Guan Yu being gone. The only one that's kind of messing with me that we saw get banned out was Thanatos, because while we've seen Thanatos be a strong counterpick to Khepri throughout history, really, Thanatos himself has not been the strongest character so far this season. So if you have to leave an execute up and take an execute away, I almost would have rather gotten rid of Ao Kwang and not really worried about the Thanatos. I mean, obviously the Pele has been selected, but the fear would still be there for me.
Yeah, it definitely would, but luckily for the City Boys, don't have to worry about any executes. And it's an Uller hover. We saw this hover game one from Remarkable, ended up going the Heimdall instead. And I think the Heimdall was alright. It struggled a little bit against the Hou Yi at times, kind of needed a few ganks, but still, Remarkable looked comfortable on it, and especially late game fights. Did not die a ton. I'm not too sure how much I would like the Uller though.
And a Jormungandr to go alongside that, so
So it should be a
another
fourth jungle.
another interesting comp potentially, but I will say this one, assuming this ends up being the comp, could be a significant change in pace coming out from the City Boys. I liked how everything worked game one though. I almost don't think there was that much of a need for change, barring bans.
Yeah, and they really didn't have anybody banned besides the Guan Yu that they used in game one, so maybe a little bit questionable, but it is a 3-game set. I mean, and going into playoffs soon, if there's a time to try something else out, it's definitely right now, maybe just getting strats ready, but it's going to be Cernunnos ADC, and the Jormungandr solo, I still, assuming it is Yorm solo, I still really like it for Dashi. I think was incredibly aggressive on the Guan Yu, and played well, so seeing a pick that allows him to get into the backlands as easily, definitely a good move.
I for sure agree, and I think this is going to be a much different game than we saw the first time, and the Persephone getting through, something that was banned. We'll have a lot to talk about, certainly, in game number 2, and we will meet you there.
taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off.
Is the sauce of secret success for Sugar Babies going to be a more traditional team composition, or will Chef Khepri have something to say about the choice of secret sauce? I'm Anthony Malum. I have KingFsher with me. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I think, like you pointed out already, a much more traditional comp should serve them better. I think the one thing, looking at this team, it's all picks I expect to still, if they do get off to an early deficit, to still do really well from behind. Tyr feels scary no matter what level he is. I think same with Ymir. Persephone just brings so much value besides a raw damage output that it's going to be a team to be reckoned with no matter what. It definitely gives them a lot more leeway to play this game how they want to.
I agree, and I think with Tyr going against a Jormungandr over there in Soul Lane, I think that opens up a lot of opportunities for Trollacademy to rotate around the map and try to make plays happen elsewhere where his character's actually effective in terms of the crowd control.
Yeah, and I do really like that counter pick from Dashi going the Jormungandr into the Tyr. I think fits a playstyle we saw really well. And like you said, it kind of forced Trollacademy to go other places. And we did see Trollacademy rotate out pretty early last game, so still definitely in his wheelhouse, but it's going to be a real mix-up to the pace of this game.
Virtually shows up for a gank by the Scepter, doing some damage right away. Pre-beats the stun, but didn't need to as he walked past it. Dracull dropping low regardless and will be the first blood, and it goes the way of Khepri, so watch out for the battle bug this game. NykoMaster is plenty safe in lane, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the tick damage takes that over something like the jungler or the ADC. But Scepter secured, kill secured, and almost a second one on Trollacademy, the Tyr dropping low. Jormungandr, he's going a full damage build so far. I know I talk a lot about not liking damage on the solo laners. I think Jormungandr is one of the few that it feels good on.
MentalDepressed looked for a play on Slim, but as we talked about so many times, to the skies, it's just such a good escape. It's just so hard to play around.
Yeah, it really is, and I think offers the mid laner a lot of freedom, not having to use beads, and they are free to pause as we're going to have to throw it onto a break and be right back for game number 2.
taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take a new song. And you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You were not as tough as I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, 'cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, 'cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots. You were not as tough though. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots, who are not as tough as me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working.
We're back. I hope you're still awake, alive, and well. And we do see that Dash has a secure totem, so after the pause, City Voice takes the minuscule advantage.
Yeah, definitely a tactical timeout coming out there. Had to use those few minutes to make sure they were doing the right calls. The Totem Falls now virtually looking on a MentalDepressed. The Pele falling really low. Should be able to escape back to their own jungle though, so no real harm coming there. And yeah, like you said, the Jormungandr taking a really early lead. And these are two very aggressive solos as Dracull dropping really low.
Low enough for the kill. RemarkableWolf gets it this time. No KS from the Battle Bug. So a kill for the Kernanos.
Absolutely, and we are just seeing yet again why Kernanos, the best ADC. I am very partial to Kernanos, but RemarkableWolf doing really well. The burst damage is insane onto Nico. Nico, though, again, good reactions, not using beads, just trusting themselves to stay alive. Good keeping that utility for the Hou Yi.
This soul lane matchup has to be one of the ones I would dread the most if I was a soul laner. It would be so uninteresting to be a tier. You're kind of just hanging out, just doing your thing. I mean, the kill potential there for the one-on-one would require a lot of misplays from the Jormungandr.
It definitely would. I think luckily it doesn't have to worry about getting dashed around a whole ton. Kind of just stands there and deals with it. I'm kind of interested to see if Trollacadimy is gonna still go into magical defense rather early, because I think, like you talked about, there's no world where that tier gets a solo kill over there in the solo lane. So I'd be surprised to see if he even still worries about dealing with that magical damage early on, and just kind of gets ready for the physical damage, because RemarkableWolf and Virtually are going to do an absolute ton of damage to these frontliners.
I agree completely. Another pull from OLK onto Dracull, this time taking a lot more damage than last time. Only level 3. Dash in from RemarkableWolf, but gets walled off after the dash. Now Nico is the one taking the damage. Might have got put in a weird spot from his support, but now Dracull is stuck out by the XP camp. MentalDepressed is here for try to clean some things up. Dracull gets pulled in, taking so much damage, but OLK is out of damage despite having the ultimate available. We'll see how much that comes into play. Soulzc on the way. Slim is here. MentalDepressed is one hit away. Dueling Dragons picks it up. Here comes the Grasp, followed by the Suns. RemarkableWolf has taken a lot of damage. Big double dunk from Virtually. RemarkableWolf does fall, but Virtually looking to clean some things up, but can only find the one, despite incredible damage onto Soulzc as well. Kind of a back and forth fight, but ultimately the real winner probably going to be the City Boys with a nice gank from Virtually.
Yeah, really good job by Virtually and Slim getting over there at the right time. I mean, should have just been straight up a 2 for 0 though. I don't know why RemarkableWolf walked back up into that fight. Regardless, so pays with their life for it. Now one death gonna stay equal to the Houyi. Maybe would have been able to pull like half a level to level ahead. But now both ADCs do have their Devo's Gauntlet online, so a lot more even than I thought it'd be in that lane.
Trollacademy taking a lot of damage. World Serpent gonna come out. We'll see if it's enough, but considering the movement, I don't quite think it'll be there. We'll have some nice damage to follow up, though. Chasing it down. It's possible. Wow. It's there. They get a solo kill for Dash onto Trollacademy.
Yeah, so maybe magic defense would be pretty cool. So you're going to be building into the Manticore spike, so a little bit of best of both worlds. I forgot that item existed for a second. But the Book of Thoth from the Jormungandr. Interesting to see, but luckily should be able to stack it up really without much troubles there at all.
You know, looking at those builds you talked about, I'm surprised at how normal they are, given what we've seen so far this set. You would have thought we'd be seeing something crazy come out, but really, things are par for the course.
Yeah, and I think the only really interesting build difference I'm looking forward to is going to be for RemarkableWolf. Obviously couldn't build crit last game because of the God pick. Be interested to see if they get it on Cernos, as they're looking at Nico in left, but Nico gets back to the tower without losing any HP. Doesn't have to use any utility either.
You know, something I've noticed at times from Sugar Babies, probably my only critique I've noticed of their team positioning so far, is a lot of times I find them very spread out across the jungle, but not really picking a lot of things out. If you were to rewind it maybe 30 seconds, you would have seen a lot of people on that right side jungle, but there were a lot of camps up, and nothing was being pressured out or taken, and no invades were following it. And they were kind of just over there with no gain, which is always rough play. NykoMaster needs one Ricochet or potentially one ultimate. Wolf down to one hit, all it will take. Nico's gross with the Ricochets, but that distance might be too much. Does look for it. Not quite going to find the distance, though.
Like the ambition to look for it, but a little bit hopeless there. Not quite able to close that gap with the arrow. So Remarkable gets out alive, and good use of the beads to avoid that slow. Certainly would died if they were trapped in there just a little bit longer. Now Virtually coming in, Nico is going to get away.
Oh, the jump was up. I'm surprised that wasn't enough for the kill. MentalDepressed is here to back Virtually up as well, so that's going to be more than enough cover for NykoMaster to successfully back despite the dunk. MentalDepressed is here as well, so RemarkableWolf will get to really farm. Kind of has to concede this wave, but I'm so surprised NykoMaster got away. I kind of can't believe it.
And I think this is the first time I have ever, playing Smite or casting it, seen this, building into Griffin Wing earwings. Or what? Earrings, not earwings. Is NykoMaster. I have not seen that item yet. That's gonna be interesting. Just a small typo.
The earwings got me. But yeah, we have not seen that. I have never seen that item built, unironically. I'm curious to see if it'll make any kind of difference. I mean, NykoMaster has put an incredible amount of time onto the Houyi, so maybe you know something that we don't, but I'm curious to see how it'll work out.
Yeah, I was thinking it was maybe just kind of, you know, how sometimes they build the tier 2 item for the stat stick, but don't really finish it off till later. It doesn't offer incredible stats, so I would assume this is going to be built into Full earrings soon. I almost said it again. 15% attack speed and 20 physical power. They're going to be bypassing what would normally be Executioner for that. So we do see RemarkableWolf building into that.
I think everybody should build it just for the fun. NykoMaster has to use beads, standing ultimate. RemarkableWolf taking serious damage. Make it a solo kill! NykoMaster picks up RemarkableWolf.
Oh yeah, now dropping low is virtually the Thor. Not going to be able to get away, or is he? KingFsher will consider.
Nice KingFsher ultimate. Goes alongside the teleport to get Thor away. Dash goes through the back, but they're just going to let the big guy walk on through and not pay it too much mind. So really just the KingFsher ultimate for nothing.
Yeah, and good utility burn there from Sugar Babies, and having that KingFsher for this Gold Fury fight, that is indeed what they're trying to pull, going to be pretty big. Normally with that, you can just send somebody in there at full aggression, they really don't have to worry about dying. But no, KingFsher not going to have it, and KingFsher looks like the one stepping up to steal. Definitely not the move. They're having Thor rotate in now, which is the right move. Can they get it in time?
Down to a quarter health, they let it go, but it's still taking the damage. Sugar Babies secures the Gold Fury, virtually falls for even peeking over. Everybody's low for Sugar Babies, but I just don't think there's positioning there. Dash going in deep, though, and is healthy. We'll see what he can clean up, but it was just some poke onto MentalDepressed and nothing quite more. City Boys will have to back away after losing the Gold Fury.
Yeah, good job there by Dash, creating some separation, making sure Sugar Babies aren't quite able to run it down after the, oh gosh, the Gold Fury. We saw City Boys themselves do that a few times in the last game, so I guess making sure they don't want anything to start snowballing as a gold lead is perfectly even. The Sugar Babies are 4 gold ahead right now. Not a big difference.
That's a significant difference. That 4 gold can buy you an entire earwing.
Oh my gosh, I'm not living that one down anytime soon, as it is the full earring from NykoMaster. Won't be making that typo again. But now, City Boys, I think this is kind of the stage where it's not like last game. They already had a sizable lead by 12 minutes in. I think that's kind of where we noticed them starting to get that gold advantage. The table's turning. They don't have it this time, so I'm going to be interested to see where they try to put their pressure onto. But pressure is on RemarkableWolf in duo.
Taking a lot of damage. There's the Suns. Polymorph comes out, but the minions are doing a lot of work too. NykoMaster gets the solo kill, and RemarkableWolf make it 2, but 3 kills total for NykoMaster.
Yeah, and we saw them ban out the Cernos in Game 1, not wanting to give that over to RemarkableWolf. Guess you don't have to worry about that when Nico has the Ho Yi. Not too much of an impact so far, but Trollacadimy, this tier at level 12, definitely going to be a god to watch out for on Sugar Babies. We've seen it a few times in the SPL, just how hard a tier can carry a set. City Boy's going to have to do a lot of work to limit Trollacademy on this pick.
Virtually going to go for the gank on NykoMaster, but he's got to go quick. Nico's been backing for a while. Was not quick enough. Pyro going to fall. Sugar Babies secure that. Oh, okay, killed MentalDepressed. Look how low everybody is on Sugar Babies. Dash kills Soulzc. Oh, okay, probably going to fall as well, but can Dracull go with him? It's a support bash, but Dash gets a double kill.
Indeed, he does. A good job there by City Boys responding to that Pyromancer, and that is not a good trade from the Sugar Babies. 3 for an objective. Never something you really want to happen is now virtually looking in the mid lane. Nico is rotated all the way over, so Remarkable can get a little bit of that XP back, down about a level to the Ho Yi. But him being absent means that's going to be a purple buff invade and should be a full wave for the Cernos.
You know, I was going to mention before that fight, I was going to ask if we could see gold in hand, but I think we see where it went. Trollacademy just backed and bought a full item and then some after only having the Manticore spikes for a while. NykoMaster taking a lot of damage from RemarkableWolf. MentalDepressed is here and that backs off. Wolf, there will be no return solo quite yet. Polymorph comes out. MentalDepressed doing a lot of damage. Okay, is here though. Will be enough to get RemarkableWolf out of there. MentalDepressed took an insane amount of poke. But now OLK might have stepped up a bit too far. Wolf is here doing damage. Slim is there as well. Nico kills the KingFsher. And now Wolf might be stepped a little too close. It's a big root. Virtually's in the back. Nico jumps up and jumps into Virtually, who will clean up the kill there. Wolf dashes in for Dracull. Walls won't save you this time. Slim gets the kill there, and Soulzc could not rotate in time.
And, you know, I was really questioning OLK dashing into the 1v3 there. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe they were just trying to bait Sugar Babies out of the tower, which did work really well. Virtually on the rotate over, was able to clean up those 2 kills. So another really clean fight from City Boys. This is the point where if I'm Sugar Babies, I'm not necessarily scared, but you gotta clean it up virtually, able to get up in the air before being bursted down.
Just barely does escape. That was a close one, but yeah, you know, you actually said it. You pointed out that they were baiting in for virtually, and he had plenty of time to just walk around the back casually and do as he pleased.
Yeah, it really did, and I think Thor offers such good rotation that even without that bait, virtually probably could have dove tower and got the kills, would have died for it, but nice seeing the discipline, not committing too much at first and able to use it on the escape. It's a good play by the Thor, and yeah, we'll say that's what they intended, and good play by the Khepri as well, setting up that play, even though they died for it.
Trollacademy runs into RemarkableWolf, who is low on mana, but it will not be enough to commit for the kill just quite yet. Back to mid lane, just taking a peek at how things are going. I'm getting concerned for Dracull, given the level and the amount of damage he's starting to take. We saw it in that last fight, especially the magic damage that went Dracull's way, given just the sovereignty and the Gauntlet of Thebes so far. So something to keep an eye out for, especially with Dash being level 14, coming around the corner, going to find Dracull, and does decent damage, not a whole lot yet. Dracull now dropping low, going to have to drop the ultimate, and dies to Slim, so the magic damage showed up just in time. MentalDepressed is on Slim in the back, going to chase him under tower. Aegis comes out, ultimate comes out from MentalDepressed, taking a lot of damage from the tower. Great CC was enough to get Slim out of there, thanks to Dash. Now they turn their attention to see if they can pick up Soulzc, but the Dash goes through the root. Dash himself goes up looking for more, but can't quite find it. So nice play by City Boys there, getting everybody out and getting some return kills.
Yeah, another really, really good team fight by City Boys. They get Dracull, and they get MentalDepressed as well, who dove a little bit too far. In all fairness, almost did get the kill. I think if Yorm didn't rotate back, would have been a solid chance. But I think, like you said, with that Ymir being behind, I don't think it's as bad as if this Khepri was behind. Obviously takes a lot more damage, but a lot safer than Khepri in regards to the CC. Who's not safe, though, is Trollacademy. Certain No Soul off the mark, but might still be able to get the tier.
Trollacademy's taking them on a chase around the map, and it's given enough time for NykoMaster and Dracull to be there. Suns come out. Houyi did a lot of damage there to Wolf in particular. Dash can probably tank most of it. Trollacademy backing in front of him, but those two are so tanky it still does not matter. Ultimately, everybody will go their separate ways, but we'll see how those health bars matter for a potential Primal Fury fight.
Yeah, and the Primal Fury is, I think, always kind of the weirdest Fury. I mean, Gold Fury, it gives that defensive boost now, so always nice to have. Oni is sometimes more important than Fire, but I think Primal Fury in one of those weird places where obviously you want the Fury, you want the XP and gold, but I think unlike the other two, not worth committing somebody to die over, and both teams are going to back off, not quite ready to make that engage.
I'm curious to see, because we were talking about late how these two teams functioned against each other, but so far, it doesn't feel as even as it is given the kills, but if you look at the gold in particular and the levels, things aren't that crazy and pretty much even across the board, with the exception being the jungle role currently between Virtually and MentalDepressed. So I'm wondering what's going to be the thing that puts one team ahead of the other as we get into this late game.
Yeah, and I think the one thing I'm definitely looking for on both teams is the engage, as the engage is going to come from Virtually right now, trying to steal the Pyromancer away. Sugar Babies are going to drop it.
Dracull was on it maybe a little too long, though, going to fall to Virtually. Trollacademy pushes them off, but too little too late. Dash going to chase Soulzc away, but trying to turn back towards Trollacademy. Sugar Babies does pick up the Primal Fury on the other side of the map. NykoMaster is there in response. Dash chasing back low, but it's just Trollacademy. Mid lane, Virtually's down to one hit with Soulzc there, but Soulzc just cannot find it. Slim chasing under tower, always dangerous against a Persephone, finding decent damage, enough to make Soulzc back away. Will run into Trollacademy in the mid lane, gonna ult down on top, but to the skies, gets him away. Dash is there for body blocks and protection for Slim, who also gets away. Same vibes as Soulzc, and once again, we've seen these two teams disengage. Is quite impressive despite the misplay at the Pyromancer by Sugar Babies.
Yeah, and I do like seeing the discipline from City Boys to disengage there. Don't find too much of an ego after that kill on the Pyromancer. And I think definitely the smart play, like you said, it's not as far apart as it feels. There's only about a 2,500 gold difference. Where Sugar Babies last time, it was, if I'm remembering correctly, at about 8,000 or 9,000 20 minutes in. So definitely good to see them keeping it a lot closer. And for the Chaos side team, it's gotta feel like they're not necessarily winning this game, but they're in a much better spot to push it to game 3.
I completely agree. I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the slightest. I do see some interesting positioning right now. RemarkableWolf is walking behind NykoMaster. We'll see how that goes. Dracull gets rooted out in front of Dash. Wolf, the one dropping low, so is Nico. Getting close over there. Nico dashes in, gets the kill onto RemarkableWolf. Heading back to solo. Dash is in the middle of some company, doing good damage to Dracull. Takes some decent damage himself. Gonna have to use the World Serpent to get out of there. We'll see if that sets up anything else. In the back, Virtually has found and has deleted Soulzc. Trollacadimy gets pulled in by OLK, so he might take some damage from Slim, but hard to imagine there'll be much else aside from that. Trollacademy doing damage to Slim, ults down on top. Aegis combined with the Khepri ultimate is enough for Trollacademy to walk away. Dash will chase it out, but we saw before, this tier is incredibly tanky and takes a lot to kill. MentalDepressed caught out by Virtually, who's level 17, and he's doing numbers. The ultimate comes out, and the ultimate was enough for the kill. Nice return kill from MentalDepressed. Did not think he had that, given the level disadvantage, and this could set up a Pyromancer and maybe more.
Yeah, Sugar Baby's finally going to find that elusive Pyromancer that started this whole 2-3 minute fight. As it does go down, they've now pulled back to within about 1,500 gold. So City Boys, this is kind of a stage where, you know, you've made not necessarily some slip-ups, but lost a little bit of traction. I think they definitely still have the upper hand when we're looking at the objectives on the map, though. Sugar Babies, if they can find some kills here, though, it'll be massive. Trollacademy going to be the one to engage.
Makes the engage onto Slim. Couldn't find much from it, though. But it could make Slim have to back up enough that it gives Sugar Babies time to take out Dash. Dash is the one who takes out MentalDepressed. The growth hits from far and pulls in Dash, but doesn't quite find the kill. Trollacademy caught out by RemarkableWolf, who just doesn't have the damage to take out a tier right now unless he has the perfect positioning. So, again, we'll see a nice disengage from both sides.
Yeah, and I think the one thing, admittedly, that City Boys aren't doing great at right now, I think, is XP. Given the way they had a good gold lead starting to close up, they got more than double the amount of kills. I mean, the support should not be the same level. The Ymir is 0-6, the Khepri is 2-1. There should be a massive chasm there, but there's just not. I think RemarkableWolf has been the lone member kind of struggling there on the left. So Sugar Babies, they got a few level advantages, and not really at the place they should be. Admittedly, they should be losing this game right now, and they're just not.
Yeah, and those charts tell the story that supports what you're talking about. Realistically, we do see more setup for a fight deep in the Chaos side of the jungle. City Boys looks like they're trying to set up for a play, much like we saw last game, that could lead to the end. We saw them get a secure and Fire Giant at 18 minutes, which led to the Phoenixes dropping, and the next Fire Giant ended the game. They're trying to set it up here, but some good patience from Sugar Babies has delayed that for now. Wolf is in mid lane with Nico. Dracull looking to see if they can make a play. Virtually is going to go up into the sky in response. And we're split into two separate fights. This never goes well. We'll see where Virtually lands down. It's on top of NykoMaster. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Slim kills MentalDepressed. Virtually kills NykoMaster. Dracull is there on low Virtually, but doesn't have the levels to get the kill there. Dash heading to mid and World Serpent. Going to be enough to find Dracull. RemarkableWolf gets the hit. Soulzc, though, has enough damage to take care of RemarkableWolf. Now it's going to be the chase. We'll see if Trollacademy can get Soulzc away. Looks like he will. A very rough fight for Sugar Babies there.
Yeah, definitely not a good one. Luckily, they got a few red areas as Soulzc and Trollacademy do still escape, taking down RemarkableWolf on the way and losing that ADC. It's going to make this a lot, not impossible to do, but a lot harder. The tier here means this tower probably isn't going to fall unless they get really lucky. Good stun, though.
Hold on Trollacademy. This could be a shocking death for the tier, but he's going to get away. This tier has been impossible to kill for City Boys, and they did it virtually. Gets the credit for it. That has to be a morale victory for City Boys. That tier was impossible to kill this entire game, it felt like.
Yeah, and I'm confused. I haven't seen tier drop below half in a fight yet. They just bursted him down from full HP in about 4 seconds. I don't know what the item swing or the prioritization was, but I think they need to be looking for tier in these next fights. We see what they can do when they group up even without their solo laner and ADC really mixed up in that fight. City Boys have everything they need to shut down Sugar Babies. Just a matter of doing it. Can't commit to the Gold Fury though. Cernanos just now making his way back in from base.
Virtually up into the sky. Gonna look for NykoMaster, I'd have to assume. He finds it, gets the stun. A lot of damage, virtually obliterates NykoMaster. MentalDepressed took a lot of damage as well. OLK is the one caught out, though, with a growth by Persephone. MentalDepressed gets picked up by Dash on the way out. Dash goes on to Soulzc. Slim's falling. Dracull taking immense damage, making a double kill for Virtually. Slim gets a kill on Dracull. Now it's Trollacademy versus the world, which has been much of the story of this game number 2. 24-9 for City Boys. Gold Swing starting to follow, and this should be a Fire Giant for City Boys.
Yeah, Dashy needs to get back to base, upgrade the tower teleport, and get back in here. Obviously, using OLK that fight and did something you never want to see as a Khepri. Died with ultimate intact. Could have ulted themselves, but elected not to. Jormungandr just now coming back in, so the Fire Giant, they have the health bars to deal with it. If I was just them, I would turn right here on Trollacademy and try and kill him.
RemarkableWolf, though, taking insane damage from the Fire Giant. It's enough to die. Trollacademy gets credit for the kill, despite the Fire Giant putting in the work onto RemarkableWolf. Dash is still on the Fire Giant. It's down to quarter health. Virtually was focusing on Trollacademy. Dash just now kind of letting go of Fire Giant, taking so much damage from Fire. Trollacademy still dashing around. Khepri's here. Virtually's here. City Boys finally gets the Fire Giant. Slim kills Trollacademy despite his best efforts. It was questionable to stick on the Fire Giant, to say the least.
I mean, they finally get it done. They get the kill too. But honestly, if I'm City Boys, that's a little bit more worrying than anything. It looked like there were a few pretty key communication issues there. I mean, Cernunnos died to Fire Giant. Maybe the Jormungandr are not taking it yet. And the fact that they didn't all turn and kill Tyr, I think that would have been a lot easier. We saw them do it last fight in the mid. If you just turn around, kill Trollacademy, you get the Fire Giant for free. Nobody can contest, but they lose a lot of unnecessary health. Doing it that way, to their credit though, they get both in the end, and they're still in a good position in this game as we're going to start to see them push out minions from all lanes.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in for Sugar Babies, and the siege comp that City Boys has with the way Dash is going to get in the back line and just disrupt things, Virtually is going to follow up, and then even if you try to escape that, you walk into the damage of Slim and Wolf, and OLK is going to keep everybody alive, so it's a steep mountain to climb for Sugar Babies. They have a great defense comp with Soulzc, NykoMaster, and Dracull, but with MentalDepressed still kind of catching up in build, and Trollacademy has done a great job at surviving, but aside from that, has had a hard time making incredibly difference-making plays. I'm not huge on Sugar Baby's chances here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it will be interesting what we can, when we see them in a full fight. A lot of these fights have felt kind of like you said in a previous one, segmented. Like there's been 2 different fights, or somebody's getting picked before everybody else. Seeing the KDs here on the side of Sugar Babies, they're not good for the most part. I don't think they've had everyone alive at the same time to really start feeling their team and what they can do. These opportunities on Phoenix and on the tier 2 tower should look a lot cleaner from their perspective. Given how well City Boys is playing it, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
You know, a lot of the damage from Slim the Rebel has been onto Dracull, who still has no magic defense, so this will be tough to survive Slim at this point, especially with Fire Giant. If any abilities land, we're going to see that here. Dracull's taken so much damage. Slim having some trouble, though. MentalDepressed is there with the ultimate on the Pele. He does get picked up by RemarkableWolf, but Soulzc gets a kill, followed by NykoMaster getting a kill. Nice ultimate from Khepri, saves RemarkableWolf for now. NykoMaster's double kill him virtually. Trollacademy finds RemarkableWolf, and they're not dead yet. Sugar Babies gets rid of almost everybody.
Just like that, when they all group up as 5, you see what the team comp can do. A really good defense from Sugar Babies. I think you pointed out earlier in that fight, the lack of magic defense from Dracull. There's 3 magical damage dealers on City Boys, so finally gonna get what I would assume is a Pestilence in there. I mean, Sugar Baby just won that essentially in a 4v5. Dracull was forced out almost instantly.
Yeah, Slim was doing too much damage for a long time, and Dash as well, for that matter. Dash gonna look for a defense of this tower. Might be able to. Nico and Soulzc are low, and Dash has been putting in numbers this game, but does get CC'd out enough to buy them some time and some safety. They're probably going to be able to get this tier 2 tower. OLK's here, but I just have a hard time imagining it's not going to fall.
Yeah, finally does. Had Sugar Baby stepped too far, though, both teams going to disengage. A little interesting, we don't see crit from either ADC. It's something we've seen a little bit in the last week too. ADC is kind of trending to go back towards a pure penetration, attack speed build. I don't know if I love it. I think that build is good, but crit offers so much damage. The ADCs both still top of the charts though, so really making their impact felt in this game. It's not something we see often.
No, you know, I'm trying to go over potential outcomes in my head and what I expect to see, and that was such a strong fight from Sugar Babies, and I think the key was they got Slim and Wolf on the back foot really quick, and while Virtually's doing work, they kind of ignored him in that fight and focused on getting rid of the significant damage from the two backliners on the side of City Boys, and that was a huge difference maker. So I expect to see more of the same from them going forward, because getting rid of that damage helped immensely, because they were able to turn their attention to Virtually as soon as he dove after getting rid of the significant damage.
Yeah, and that's kind of a repeated theme we've seen in this one. I mean, the dive has been absolutely lighting one person up, and then the team fight kind of falls that way. I mean, everybody just follows up. You can spread the damage out a lot more efficiently. That was the first time we've seen Sugar Babies really get the first kill in a fight, and a good efficient one onto the back line. Like you said, Virtually and Dashy not able to find as much impact there in the left lane. Now Fire Giant's coming up and City Boys have a lot more aggressive positioning. I think this is what to expect. Sugar Babies had a really good fight, but they are still on the back foot.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before Sugar Babies is completely caught up. Lincoln trying to make a play on Virtually, MentalDepressed still taking a lot of damage in response. Virtually could not get up into the ultimate. That's huge. He falls before Fire Giant was even pulled. Dash taking a lot. It's a double kill for MentalDepressed, but he's shut down from Slim, who is still fairly healthy.
Uh-oh.
This is big. Oh, it's no good. Slim is safe from the Fearless. Nico taking a lot of damage, though. KingFsher ultimate down into Slim. Trollacademy's waiting out to see what he can do with it. Gonna be enough. Gets the kill. RemarkableWolf now steps way too far forward and takes crazy damage, but Dracull is the only one who committed to it. So Wolf might be able to get away. OLK had Trollacademy under the tower. RemarkableWolf somehow was allowed to get away from this. Blinking from Trollacademy, though, cleaning up the mistake, but Wolf gets away again. Trollacademy ults to try to make something happen, but Wolf is long gone. There was no play there. I cannot believe that Sardanos got away.
I really don't know how he survived that one, but indeed he did. And now Sugar Babies, they have a chance at the Fire Giant, but they're gonna do Pyro instead. I mean, they don't have their support there, but Trollacademy is tanky enough. I think they definitely could have got the EFG, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to be able to establish themselves here. There's still a few seconds before Slim gets back. They're backing, though. I would really like to see Sugar Babies get an aggressive position on this EFG, and it's not happening.
Yeah, I would have liked a Fire Giant call. I mean, like you said, Dracull wasn't there, but no disrespect to Dracull.
Isn't stealing a Fire Giant.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Dracull, but Trollacademy has been playing the sort of pseudo support role this game, just given how tanky he's been the whole game, and Dracull's still kind of getting to that point, just now getting magic defense online. So I think that Fire Giant could have been taken, but at this point, hindsight's 20/20, or 32/34 for that matter. We'll see who makes the play forward here. Nice stun from Nico onto Virtually, who's taking a lot of damage, probably more than he expected. That's going to bring the KingFsher ultimate out. MentalDepressed taking a lot of damage, but nice double stun from Dracull. In the back, Trollacademy's making plays onto the backliners. We talked about that. MentalDepressed low, Virtually going to look for the slam. Can he find it on him? He does! MentalDepressed falls to Virtually. That sets up City Boys pretty, but not if OLK falls. Great wall from Dracull is enough to kill the Battle Bug KingFsher. But that's all they're going to get. They're going to fall back and look for Fire Giant, but they do not have Pele, but I don't think it's going to be fully contested with the Thor ultimate down.
Yeah, they still might show up for it, and this is the Fire Giant call I feel a lot less confident about. I mean, sure, City Boys, they had to get back. None of them have their ults. Sugar Babies don't have any ults either. They're going to have to rely on a well-timed Persephone plan to secure this.
Trollacademy stalling things. Virtually's on the way. Fire Giant 25%. Wall from Dracull comes out. Virtually has plenty of time hanging away. Blinks past Trollacademy and gets the steal. City Boy steals the Fire Giant away. Trollacademy will make Virtually pay for it, but that's all they can find for now. Gigantic steal for the City Boys.
Yeah, and I think, not to toot our own horns, but I mean, they missed the call earlier, and without anything to secure it, it's a risky call. Trollacademy was a millisecond away from getting that dash onto the Thor, but virtually had the hammer out, and stealing an EFG for a jungler's life, something you always love, and now you have it on your backliners and your solo. Just like that, Sugar Babies went from finally getting a small lead, getting aggressive in this game. Now it's going to be hard to. City Boys have an incredible opening now.
And you know, you said it, City Boys has the opening. That Fire Giant that was missed might have been the opening for Sugar Babies, but it is, the pattern is now full, and it's going to be tough to come back from this. They are pulling Oni Fury, but RemarkableWolf is here, and they're going to wisely let go. It's going to be tough to contest this with Slim and Remarkable having EFG, and Sugar Babies just has to fall back and look for as good of a defense as they had about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because they were starting to look really, really good. Just make one small mistake. I think, admittedly, I'm getting caught up on the fact that they didn't take Fire Giant earlier, but still, that one was a 50-50. Nobody had ults. It's not a terrible call. It's just a risky one, and a risk that didn't pan out for them, unfortunately.
It is indeed. Wolf looking for some poke on Trollacademy, but wisely, Trollacademy not going to commit that far yet. The tankiness that we've seen run this game for Troll is slowly disappearing as we get late to the game. Dracull gets a stun on Dash, but that is a level 20 Jormungandr who went a very effective build, aside from maybe needing to sell the Mail of Renewal, but I'll let Fish critique that.
Yeah, I think we talk about Mail of Renewal late game, not really loving it, but speaking of late game builds, I know this is kind of the standard tier build, but there's a lot more health than there is protections in that build, and we're starting to see the picks like the Kernanos and the Yu Huan really kind of exploit that. On the flip side, with that starter item upgrade from Dracull, the Ymir is going to feel a lot more impactful in these fights, and OLK dropping low has to back up.
Trollacademy committing for the kill. Growth comes out on RemarkableWolf. Khepri ultimate kept them safe. Trollacademy diving deep, but taking a lot of damage. MentalDepressed finds virtually in the solo lane. Trollacademy falling low, has to back up, head towards mid camp. Dracull goes into ultimate, falls too slim. The Rebel Phantom Shell comes out. Probably not needed, but it comes out regardless. MentalDepressed taking a lot of damage. Dash is the only one committed. Suns comes out to buy time for the Phoenix, and City Boys will now look to split around. There's a minion wave in the left lane. Wolf is there. Phoenix will fall before Nico can stop it, most likely, but Wolf turns his attention, and he gets stunned out. Aegis comes out, Jump will be enough for the kill. He let go of the Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't fall, and he dies alongside it. That's a tough pick if you're City Boys.
Yeah, I don't know why RemarkableWolf didn't just burst down the Phoenix there. I mean, admittedly, the Cernos is doing a lot of damage, has a full build online, but without any of the team supporting, and I think it was, yeah, Soulzc was on the way in. You're gonna die there regardless for that, even if you do kill the Hou Yi. Getting the Phoenix down definitely would have helped, but now Sugar Babies, again, in the back and forth fashion it's been, clearing off the EFG off the ADC is definitely a good move. About a minute remaining on that Fire Giant buff. This next one could absolutely be the game. Even if the Fire Giant doesn't fall, a team is going to at this fight, and it might spell the end.
You know, we have not talked enough about the damage coming out of NykoMaster and the Hou Yi, despite the Griffin earrings. He is putting out some serious numbers on that Hou Yi. Pyromancer getting pulled down to 25%. Trollacademy will look for the steal, but Fearless is away, goes back into it. City Boys gets the Pyromancer. Trollacademy has to use the ultimate to get away, so not entirely worth it, but that'll be back up soon. But it's hard to tell if it's been an impactful item or not. It might have mattered for the wolf kill we just saw, but I don't know. It's always, that item's gonna always be a tough sell for me.
I was gonna say, I don't feel like I can critique it too heavily because, I mean, I've never used it. I haven't seen it built before a whole ton, so maybe it is a big difference maker. Virtually crashes onto Trollacademy. Tyr doesn't have the ult, but still manages to walk away. And missing that, trying to take the Pyro, is going to be huge in this next fight. It has a teleport, so you can get back in there, but the Tyr are not going to be nearly as safe as they were before. Oh, virtually can't destroy the ward, though. Tyr's back at full health.
Tyr's back at full health. City Boys
And has his
backing
ultimate.
up. Gonna look to pay attention to the Fire Giant. Yeah, that ultimate timer is borderline non-existent right now. Big double stun from Dracull, but it's onto the two tanks, so no real follow-up from MentalDepressed. Virtually starting to take a bit of poke. Worth keeping in your mind as we progress to the Fire Giant fight, but we're at Fire Giant dance territory, starting a bit later than we're used to, but no full commit yet from either side. Looks like City Boys has the better positioning slightly. Sugar Babies is slightly more pushed up, but they are more grouped, which does matter. NykoMaster looking for some damage on OLK. Does not find it quite yet. And who do you think is going to make the first move here?
I think given the way this game's been going, Virtually has his ult. He's going to try to use it. On the flip side, Trollacademy. Oh, there it is. There's a dash. So now Thor still not going to the skies. City Boys are just waiting this one out.
Dash had enough health that I guess that they didn't like that opportunity enough to commit. The pit is still open. Double root from OLK. Is that enough? Slim looking for damage onto Dracull. Doesn't find too much. Oh, Trollacademy goes on to Khepri, but not a lot there. Here comes Virtually in the sky. NykoMaster gonna jump. He's gonna wait for the jump and land on top. Aegis comes out, Beats comes out. Now Virtually stuck deep. Gonna fall to Soulzc. Dash is gonna fall to MentalDepressed. And one small misplay might make the world of difference for Sugar Babies, as they've now got a 5-on-3. Trollacademy is low though. Gonna run into Slim, and we talked about it. Health helps you early, protections help you late, and he falls down.
Yeah, and that's a crucial misstep from City Boys. I like that they're getting aggressive. I think it was the right call to engage, but you can't go into a 2v4 like that when your backline is left 3v1ing a tier, and the tier is still alive. That just can't be the call to engage, and it was, and now they're going to pay the price. RemarkableWolf is going to fall.
Khepri ultimate comes out, Phantom Shell as well, but Wolf is taking a lot of damage, but does separate enough from Dracull that he was able to almost kill Dracull. Slim's here. Ability's no good, though. Gonna have to go to the skies to avoid the rest. Could have been a big play from Slim, but not quite there. And it might turn into a reset, and I almost can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck from Sugar Babies. The health bars were way too low to continue that fight. I think definitely do the right thing, though. EFG is such an important objective. 41 minutes in with the rest of City Boys coming off a respawn. Definitely did the right thing to save lives back out of there. And now, theoretically, again, they should have pressure on the pit, but Trollacademy being dead and RemarkableWolf getting back first, I think we're going to see aggressive positioning from City Boys again, but they need to play this one unified. If they get caught trying to burst down Trollacademy while their front line's diving, they're going to lose this game.
I agree. It's at this point, we're really just looking to see which team's going to make the bigger mistake and which team will capitalize on that mistake. And the question is where it will come from. Virtually does get a good stun on the MentalDepressed, but going to have the Purification Beats and the ultimate to get away. That's a tough break for the Pele. Don't want to use that here. That's rough.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate to see from City Boys. They had a 3-on-5. I don't think they knew it. Pele was back into base. Persephone was at the red buff. That might be the mistake. They still got the aggression as Trollacademy is forced out. The Thor engaging onto Soulzc.
Soulzc is taking so much damage, but he gets knocked away from Trollacademy, and the Khepri ultimate has to come out. Dash, though, uses the World Serpent to catch up to Soulzc and picks up a big kill onto Persephone, and he's just so tanky that it's going to take a lot to get rid of him. Going to be an EFG pull from City Boys, but will they be able to secure it? And who can stop them is the question. Trollacademy is right up in their face. Buys time for MentalDepressed, who's here, but they don't want to commit too deep. Dash making his way back to his boys, and then re-engages. The City Boys might have misstepped here by not looking for more aggression following the kill on the Soulzc. Trollacademy's in the back. They all turn their attentions, but they get cut off by the wall. Sugar Babies waiting for their moment still, and Dash is caught up, and now he's starting to take a lot of poke. Almost down to half. Trollacademy's going to ult in, finds RemarkableWolf. Use of the Fearless Beats comes out late. Trollacademy taking a lot of damage. Once again, the lack of protections proves to be the downfall of Trollacademy, and he falls to Slim the Rebel. Pyromancer being pulled from RemarkableWolf. EFG being looked at on the other side. Confusing split there. Virtually ults down into NykoMaster, finding a lot of damage. Gets the kill. Forget the objectives. Dash goes on to MentalDepressed and Dracull. World Serpent comes out again. Fire Giant being pulled below half. Virtually on MentalDepressed. Gonna find a double kill there. Fire Giant's gonna fall, and this could do it for Sugar Baby. City Boys has found their opening. Now all they need to do is press the W key forward on their thumbstick, hit the bongo, whatever they use, and run it down home.
Yeah, and it should work out for them, but I am a little shocked at the play call. I mean, they had Soulzc dead for a long time. He's the second top damage dealer for Sugar Babies in a 4v5. I'm really surprised the call wasn't just to W key and get the kills instead of FG. But now they have a chance as it's a 4v2 on the Phoenix. Phoenix dropping fast. This could be the game. Trollacademy still has 10 seconds on spawn.
RemarkableWolf did drop low, so keep that in mind as we get into the Titan room for the siege. Virtually up into the sky, RemarkableWolf still low, OLK also low. Dracull onto Titan for the fence, Virtually comes down, finds nobody home. Khepri ultimate onto himself, all that doesn't matter. Titan fell so quick to all that damage. And just like that, this set's over. Sugar Babies could not hold it, despite the back and forth. And City Boys gets this set in 2 games after impressive teamwork.
Yeah, it really did. And I think, like you said, teamwork is the key there. And we saw during that last fight, they were a lot more coordinated. And from both teams, the entire, not only this game, but the whole set, both of them had a few opportunities they were missing, just some calls that weren't being made quick enough. I think it did unfortunately come to end the run there for the Sugar Babies. They showed up a lot better in game 2, though. If I'm them, there's definitely a lot of positives you can take away from this set.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, we saw such a drastic improvement in the team composition from Sugar Babies, and late game we saw a big improvement on the teamwork. But I want to go back to something I pointed out early on in game number 2 when I pointed out that the positioning in the jungle just seemed kind of off. It seemed almost like they were in the jungle but not really doing anything, despite all committing to being on the right side of the map. And I think that kind of showed up later too, because it felt like there were a lot of times where the positioning just was not perfect, and it kind of led to them getting picked off one by one, including in the last fight, as we saw Dash and Virtually kind of clean house in the back and leave barely anybody alive, and then Trollacademy died in the front. So at the end, you're just left with nobody.
Yeah, like you said, I think we talked about that in game 1, saw that same theme in game 2, but I think luckily if you're on the side of Sugar Babies, you can definitely take that and kind of use it to change your game plan going forward. It's a few noticeable things, but they're all very correctable. I think in playoffs we are going to see this team adapt and do really well. Like you said, we're tied for first until unfortunately falling to the Harbingers. But on the flip side, City Boys, this is a really good team win. It was a slow game of Smite, but it was a really efficient one.
Yeah, and as we get into the playoffs, I think City Boys is starting to emerge as a slight bit of a dark horse, because while there was moments of imperfection, in particular, I think some of the play calling and decision making at certain points, I think overall they're starting to be a very cohesive, strong unit there. And in the playoffs, I mean, the season doesn't really matter for the playoffs aside from your seed. You can make anything happen no matter what seed you are, as long as you play well enough. So teams like that, like the City Boys, are going to be imperative to watch as we get into the end of the season and the playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely is. And anytime there are more positives and negatives, it's definitely a good looking thing for your squad. And the fact that they played such, not only themselves, but saw 2 drastically different teams in game 1 and game 2, definitely getting in all the preparation they need, as they've found a winning formula. Now they just need to make sure they're able to keep it going through the rest of this season.
And with that, I do think that Fish and I are going to leave you here after a crazy week in week number 6 here in the SDL for both the Premier League and, as we just watched, the Challenger League. We will bid you adieu, and we'll pick things back up after week 7, and we'll see you towards the end of the year as we have playoffs right around the corner. If you want to watch those playoffs, make sure you're subscribed to everything and following everything as you normally do, and make sure you get in the Discord as you start to see our All-Stars be announced and any other fun things we have coming up before the playoffs. I'm Anthony Malum. I had KingFsher with me. We had NykoMaster on production, and we'll see you next time on the Smite Draft League.